Gandhi once observed that every movement goes through 4 stages. First they ignore you, then they abuse you, then they crack down on you, and then you win. Hello, extraordinaries, and welcome to another exciting episode of the High Performance Consciousness Podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy, and again, I will be your host for today's show. Let's call it a show today. So, leading with the 4 stages of movement as observed by Gandhi. It's super relevant right now for the shifts in the world, the shifts within ourselves, the shifts within our family, our communities, and also within our business, and the way that we conduct and engage our desires. So in this episode, I want to dive into this subject specifically. The wording of Gandhi has changed over the years and been attributed to different types of people or different people. You may have heard this statement. First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. Then you win. So essentially, it's the same thing. And remember, if you have gone back over any of my previous podcast episodes, you will hear me say time over time and again, that as within, so without. That which appears outside of you as real is actually stemming and created as a causative from inside of you. So, let me relate this first to the world outside of us right now. And this is a non-political episode. This is to bring your awareness to a point of understanding and appreciation as to where we as a collective, as the human race, as humanity have arrived. And it hasn't just started within the last year. It has been rising steadily over the last few decades. However, we are at a crucible, we are at a juncture point where lots of material is being poured into this melting pot to create change. And the change that we see outside of us is the change that is being produced inside of us electromagnetically. And I can go into that in another episode, but in very short terms, we are receiving electromagnetic pulses, magneto waves from our sun and from the other celestial bodies, i.e. planets in our solar system and the galaxy. And those pulsars or pulses, we carry information. The information carried is primed to awaken different aspects within us, within our DNA, within our nervous system, within our psyche, and within our lives. So let's reflect back on what Gandhi meant by the 4 stages of a movement. For you to change anything in your world, for you to change or upgrade your reality, you are in effect engaged in a movement with the self. So although that which we see outside of us is going through those 4 stages, first they'll ignore you, then they will abuse you, then they will lock you down, funny, and then you will win. So if we generalize it as to first they'll ignore, then they'll laugh, then they'll fight you, and then you will win. Everything we see outside of us is the sum total of what is going on inside of us, individually and collectively, as humanity, as I've said. So all the people that I've spoken to, which are literally over 100 over the last 6 months, every single person in their own way, in their own unique way, is waking up to a new state of consciousness, a new awareness. What is life like now? What do we want life to look like now? Who are we? Who am I in this new now moment? So there has been a lot of questions and a lot of internal dialoguing, a lot of internalizing about potentially the meaning of life, potentially the meaning and function of work and money and play and family and travel, lifestyle, all these sorts of things. But if we consider the 4 stages of a movement, and instead of looking outside of us and waiting for things to change outside of us. Because invariably that will be a very slow and is a very slow process. Let's first change through the 4 stages within us. So let me apply and give you reference to those 4 stages and the game that we are playing within us. And if you've listened to my podcast, you will know where I'm going with this. Okay? But before we jump into it, if you want to grow your mind, your spirit, and your business, then there's a great potential that you are a good fit for my upcoming mastermind called Grow Mastermind. So it's for business owners, entrepreneurs, health practitioners who really want to dive deep into their wizardry, their alchemical nature, and transform the way that they look at the world and the way that they engage their reality, and become masterful in the process by unifying the mind, the spirit, and applying it in their business for great return. So there's 2 ROIs. There's a return on investment and there's a ripple of impact. So if that's of interest to you, then head over to matthewpaddy.com/grow and you'll read more information about it. And then if you want to lean in more, then book a call with me. All right, advertising over. Let's dive in and talk about the 4 stages of movement within us. So as I have pointed out in a previous episode, the fastest path and the shortest path to get from where you are to where you want to be, where you desire most, what those desires you want fulfilled, and what the reality you want to experience, is to fold time, is to bend reality. And how you do that is you move your awareness from what is to what you want it to be, and you define point B as your new destination. That is what you enroll yourself into. And as you enroll yourself in your next big wave of experience, you are experiencing that simultaneously in the now. Now, the strength of that is determined by how much focus and attention and practice you give to immersing yourself and in embodying that future potential in the now moment. So the 4 stages of movement, essentially, we are going through those 4 stages ourselves when we pursue and seek an upgraded reality. So first, they will ignore you. Who is they? These are all the old eyes, all the old perceptions, the old beliefs, the old understandings, the old way, the old guard that is stored within our body electromagnetically in our nervous system. So first they'll ignore you. No, that's not possible. Nope, I'm going to change your mind and I'm going to create stimulus that distracts you. So I'm going to create stimulus that distracts you through the outside world. So someone that may aggravate you or give you a bit of a charge may show up in your reality. There might be things to do with your bank account or your cash flow or your business or your health, whatever it may be. There are distractions that come in to your awareness to test your resolve. And I've heard this so many times. Obviously, I've had it happen to me as well. There is an awareness that is available to you, and there is a consciousness that you are eternally connected to and eternally presented and represented as. So the first phase is they'll ignore you. You'll push it down and you'll push it down and you'll deny it and you'll go back to habits. You'll go back to what was and what is normal for you. You go back to your addictions, and the addictions are stored as electrical impulses within the body. That which we feel we are drawn to and at times cannot escape from. Okay? So that's the first thing to understand. Your body and your conscious mind is going to ignore the call for change, and it's going to push it down, and it's going to swallow down hard, and it's going to say nothing's going to change because this is life for you. Or even at a conscious level, you may want to break out of it, but your body is the resistor, and the body is the subconscious, and the subconscious, everything that you've fed it up to this point, is the resistor as the past. Okay, so once you understand and appreciate that that's the first phase, then the next phase is then they will laugh. And it'll be laughing like, you can't do that. No one in your family's changed. No one's got a degree. No one's gone to school or finished school. No one's created a business that's been successful. No one's had a successful relationship, or whatever it may be. Or that you have had great success in your family, and yet you want to break the rhythm. You want to break out of the mold. And so no one's left the family. No one's done things differently, whether it's, money, business, religion, relationship, whatever it may be. So you can see that there is the laugh there. You can try. And as try as you may, you are not going to make it. So that's that second conversation and that second phase that we are consciously and subconsciously engaged in. So the conscious mind then goes into battle with the subconscious, because the subconscious, remember, is the long-term memory. It represents the past. And the conscious mind may want to battle with it as the two pirates skirmishing on the decks of your own ship. You are both the conscious pirate and the subconscious pirate, battling it out. And there might be a little bit of laughter, there might be a little bit of pressure, and as Gandhi said, the second wave or the second stage is abuse. So you'll abuse yourself, or you'll attract kind for kind, meaning that you may see resistance outside of you. Good to note. Okay, this is a key point. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. Everything is an electromagnetic signature that we are perceiving through the lens of our beliefs and our understanding of what the world is and what we give meaning to. Okay? So then we go through the third stage. And the third stage is they will fight you. They will fight you. Or, as Gandhi said, they will lock you down. Interesting, right? They will lock you down, which means from an internal perspective, you may start to feel your health quiver, your mental health, your physical health. You may start to see that your bank account starts to dry up or contract. You may start to see that there is resistance that is being expanded or magnified in your relationships. Okay, because your nervous system is about to make a huge evolutionary quantum leap, and it's preparing itself through contraction. And as it contracts, your body and the stimulus is telling your mind, this is not possible for you. You might as well give up. So you're going to get locked down. You're going to get locked down. It's going to feel like a fight. So being aware of that is critical as the third phase. Now we go to the fourth phase. You win. Because when you persist until you persist in the vision, in enrolling yourself, embodying your new reality, or the preferredness or the preferred experiences you want in your new reality, you invariably win. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that winning is the arrival and the fulfillment of the experiences that you desire, provided you persist until. So you may bounce between stage 1 and stage 2 for a little while. First they'll ignore you, then they'll laugh at you. You may bounce between second and third. They'll laugh at you, then they'll lock you down, or they'll fight you. But understand that this is a nervous system response to jumping timelines, a nervous system response to jumping frames of reference within your neurology, biology, and energy, your energetic system. It does not mean that it is not possible for you. It does not mean that this is not your destiny. It does not mean that this is a determination of what your future is going to be like. No, it is all awareness. But as you bounce between stage 1, stage 2, stage 2, stage 3, up to 4, down to 3, down to 2, up to 3, up to 4. You get tastes of 4 and then you drop back to 3 because you're in denial and thinking, well, maybe this is not going to last. You start to play the game. What's the key? The key is awareness. And awareness is the observer. The observer, or the witness as it's called, is that you are witnessing the role-playing of the nervous system to influence and affect and promote evolution and growth. That's what you're doing. As you observe it, as you witness this gameplay, the role play of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and up and down like a xylophone or a graphic equalizer, you can then remain detached from the personal view that this is who I am. Make sense? So you are becoming a new person. You are becoming a new reality. And in becoming a new reality through these 4 stages, you are realizing you have already arrived. You have already arrived. The fulfillment of your desires, the fulfillment of your preferred or ultimate reality, the fulfillment of your ultimate experiences is already here. It's where is your focus? Where is your attention? Where are you gifting your energy? Because that which is gifted is returned multiplied. That which is gifted is returned back to you multiplied. So the witness understands that the 4 phases is the internal struggle and the internal growth principle of the human being. It's also nature. Nature goes through this, but it will not sit there and say, oh, the flower or the seed in the bed, the garden bed, everything else is ignoring me. The rain's ignoring me. The sun's ignoring me. The nutrients is ignoring me. The worms are even ignoring me. The birds are ignoring me. It has no concept of self because it has a function. And the function is to evolve. The function of the seed is to produce, is to yield, is to grow. Okay? And that's who we are. And so whether you want to refer to yourself as the seed or as the egg, the cosmic egg, we are growing eternally. And if you're in business, then there is no better way to grow the self than through business. Because whilst you look outside of you and push for greater client value, push to grow and scale your business, push to have a greater bank balance or greater freedom through the faculty of more cash, you are missing a vital piece. And so although the marketing is required, although the conversations with prospects is required, although joint venture opportunities are required, all the advertising, all these sorts of things are required as an outward function to grow your business. The first and primary principle is the self. And when you understand that I am going through, and you can observe as you go through these phases, you can start to see, wow, I am ignoring myself. I am ignoring my desires. I am ignoring my potential. I'm laughing at it. I'm rejecting it. I'm fighting it and locking it down for fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of what is possible, because I only have a concept of what is possible based on the reference I give right now, based on my past performance, my past experiences, the meaning that I have given and attributed to my past. And I have identified that as the self in the now, experiencing reality. Okay? So the grand picture here is through these 4 phases, you are always winning as you observe and witness and use your awareness. You are always winning. So you're not looking at the hands of the clock, listening to seconds go past or minutes or hours or days. You are in a cycle. And so when you think of higher energetic expressions, universal time, cosmic time, it's about cycles. It's not about a clock. So as you go through the cycle of 1 through to 4, you just rise up from one conscious octave to another conscious octave, or one octave of consciousness to another octave of consciousness, a higher frame of reference, a higher understanding, a higher point of awareness, a higher point of witness. Make sense? So I'd love your feedback on this. This is a big topic. And if you can use this as one of your foundational pillars in your growth of yourself, in the growth of your business and your life, your reality, you will seldom fall into the pit of despair, because you will understand that this is a cycle. I move through these 4 phases, and through understanding and appreciating that these 4 phases or stages are necessary for your evolution, are necessary for you to grow, for you to change, for you to evolve, for you to upgrade. Make sense? So like I said at the beginning of the episode, that if you are interested to bring greater growth and introduce greater growth to your mind, to your spirit, to your business, then go to matthewpaddy.com/grow and check it out. See if the mastermind is right for you. It's coming up very soon. I won't be doing another one for probably 4 or 5 months. So if now is not the right time, that's okay. But if it is, then lean in. So from me here to wherever you are in the world, dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field.